There we have it. There it is. The first run rig. Ha 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 ha. Ooh, run rig, dude. You left your stream just to come watch. Welcome in, Jax. Welcome in. Run rig, sometimes you just got to get some sleep in, but we're happy that you hit that button first. That is right. You are today's index, the first one, Byte Zero. All important guy. This party is for you. We're going to get down. We're going to get a little funky, but that's okay because Run Rig's here. And he hit the button. Yeah. We love it. You love it. Let's go. This is your party, Run Rig. So be sure to dance. Shows how to move. Yes, it is Talk Tuesday. And on this Talk Tuesday, it seems only appropriate that Run Rig grabs the index. Since I think one of his favorite streamers are on as our special guest today. So it's 16 months resub, sir. My guy, dude. Killing it. How's it going, sir? Welcome in. Run Rig and Katie and Jax, and you guys are all here, all ready to go for our Talk Tuesdays. Yes. So some updates, some new things. We're gonna cover a whole list of ground rules because, well, essentially, I'm just making chatter until our special guest gets here. Oh, I see her in the lobby. We'll see when she gets ready. She's currently muted, which means she's just listening into what I've got going on. Anyways, so a couple of things to get out of the way, and then we will go and see if we can't chase down the wars. And oh, here comes another one. It was a graveyard bash. Swifty Squirrel, thank you. 19 months resub. You lovely, lovely squirrel. I'm going to say it just this one time because you know that I can. How did I do? Oh, there's our guest. She popped in chat. Right. So I love these clips sometimes. They are fantastic. Somebody made it a clip. So, okay, so a couple of things, right? So as we continue to do this, is I have been slowly refining the Talk Tuesday and how we continue forward. And I gotta go check that real quick because I'm like, what did I put? Okay, so you'll notice that first off, all the redeems are new. And I'm sorry because I had to turn them all off for the DreamHack event. Anyways, couple of things. Let's get some housekeeping over with real quick. The first bits are, excuse me. Hey, we have new emotes. I don't know if you've noticed them or not. They're down there. Have fun with them. They are made by a very special artist and a dear friend of ours. We call her cousin, Brain Chick. If you are interested in some fabulous emotes, artistry, or whatnot for your channel, I can strongly recommend going and checking out a Brain Chick. Her artwork you have seen over on Squirrel. We now have some. I think Shale's getting some. Zodicus has some. It's fantastic work. I can't strongly recommend enough. And I meant to do that and I completely forgot to do it, but I'm going to fix that up so next time it is there. Yeah, cousin is definitely been busy. But so I'm actually gonna have links to her information down in my about section, and we will put in a little command. And I just thought about it. Unfortunately, I didn't think about it beforehand. Otherwise, it would have been here already. But we'll put in a little command that will also link to her Twitch and her Instagram stuff and everything else. Maybe even put up a couple of Oh yeah, she absolutely nailed every last bit of those. So I am super satisfied with them. So there's that bit. Second order of business. So in previous Talk Tuesdays, we've just been doing the questions straight out of chat. And last Talk Tuesday got really busy. So in order to avoid having to scroll back and forth through chat so we don't miss any questions, there is a 5-point redeem now, where you can submit your question, and then that will end up over here where I can see it, and I will make certain that they get answered accordingly. And no questions get submitted. Not saying you can't put them in the chat, but chances are if you put them in the chat, they're likely to get missed. They may get missed if it gets super busy. So heads up. That's now there. That will be a thing moving forward in all Talk Tuesdays. And who knows? Your question may come up again. We may reuse those questions. Oh, Wars, I suspect chat's going to have a lot of questions for you. So feel free to start, posting your questions in there, and we will get Miss Wars to start spilling the beans as soon as we get her into here. What is oh, there we go. Anyways, so there's that. Item number 2. Was there an item? That was item number 2. Yeah, I think that covers the majority of things that I wanted to get off. It does look like Jax is already hit the button. It does look like Talk Tuesdays are pretty well backed up all the way through March now, it looks like. So we have a very, very full schedule, full stop, of fabulous people to see, and talk to all the way out to March of next year. I think right up to the end of March. So people that are interested in it, get your things in here quick, because it's filling up fast. Like really fast. Faster than I was expecting it. All right. So that all being said, hi, Sale. Why is there a clip about you talking about beard growing? Okay, Shell, that's the weirdest one I've seen yet on your channel, but that's okay. All right. I think yes, she's hiding out in here. We will unmute just like that. So now we are live in the Discord. And whenever our special guest is ready, we'll kick this off. In the meantime, let's switch over to at least the there we go. There's that screen.
Oh no, that's not the right one. I was a dum-dum. Wait a sec.
No, what's not, huh? What? I didn't do it. I promise I didn't do it.
What did you not do?
I don't know. Whatever it is I'm being accused of.
I've got this one now. This one.
Oops. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. That's
the
Let's see what
program
that's going to
itself.
look like. Perfect.
Which
There we
would
go.
not be the thing.
We have a Wars on the screen.
You just need to do the alt thing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just lighting up green because I'm talking. I think it's lighting up green because I'm talking.
Yeah, that's interesting. Talk again?
I don't remember it doing that yesterday.
Yep. It's definitely lighting up green because you're talking. That's okay. There. No more green. We'll get you down on ground floor. There we go.
Oh, thank you for having me not be floating.
Well, you know, we aim to please. Thank you for being here, Wars. It was fantastic to have you here. So, those of you who don't know, which I would be like, why don't you know who this lovely lady is? Wars HQ. So this is the stuff that I know, and then we'll get to starting on the questions, and then feel free to play a game or whatever that you want.
I'm already playing.
I've turned off most. There you go. I've already turned off most of the noise. I actually have been thinking about, I wanted to get like a game that I could just like through Steam just reach out and share connections, so that'd be like a person game walking around, and that's, but I haven't found a good game for that just yet. That would be comical. It would be fun.
I mean, we could just open Portal 2.
We could, but
that's gonna be a bit distracting.
Yeah, I was looking more for like one of these. So like this is kind of a mindless puzzle game, right? Because I'm just kind of just drawing shapes on the screen. It doesn't really matter. If I happen to figure it out, hey, great. This doesn't take like serious thought to do.
I mean, chat sometimes get very invested in this.
But yes. So Wars HQ, I personally have come into contact with Wars from, believe it or not, from Duzakino. And it was Duzakino and the PPC with A Moment's Your Time, Kino, and Mr. G. And through those guys, that is how I met at Wars. And I first remember talking to you in, I think it was Momus' chat. We were just going back and forth and giving Momus a hard time. And I didn't even know that you had streamed at that point until Momus slipped up and went, well, Wars, on your next stream. I'm like, she streams? What?
I do kind of make him not do shout outs.
I did not know this. And then it was over for her because then I started showing up in her streams. I'm like, no, you don't get away. No, you stream now. Now you're stuck. I'm coming. It's been an absolute blast. I have enjoyed all of the random bits of adventures and everything that has occurred because of that. So.
I like my Nori origin story too. I don't know if people are aware, but I became aware that Nori streamed just because I woke up and my mobile phone was on Nori. I don't know who raided into. I think it was probably Kino. And I was like, who is this? Who is this? This is Nori. And then I was like, Nori streams? And then you were playing Minecraft with Shale. And everybody was
probably Kino then.
Yeah, or maybe it was somebody raided to somebody else, and then that person raided to you because it was like 7 hours because I slept. And it was my introduction to Make My Day as well, because Shale was making a joke of you like nearly falling off the edge, and you were like, "I'm not gonna fall off the edge." And I was like, I'm going to do a Make My Day. And I was like, Nori, fall off the edge. And then you're like, Wars, this is not how Make My Day works. And then you just said these lovely things. I was just like, okay. now I'm blushing. So that was my
that's fantastic. Oh, there you go. I have absolutely just been enjoying a lovely time with this native Australian. I found that one out later when we started trying to figure out how to work time zones to get everybody playing a game together.
By my voice?
No, honestly. So, okay. I worked with a gentleman. I worked for a company that was based out of Australia. And we had one of their guys shipped in from Australia over here to do IT stuff. He sat next to me and I talked to him, and he had one of those like real thick Australian accents. Think it's a horrible way to put it, but think like Crocodile Dundee.
I know, like, we kind of break it up into Bogan Australian and non-Bogan Australians. I feel like you might be thinking more like the Burgundy. Well, Crocodile Dundee is not Burgundy. Just thick Aussie accent. Right?
It's just thick. And you don't have a thick accent for what it's worth. Because
South Australians
not
typically
thick enough.
don't. Yeah. For some reason,
That's
I like it does seem
even
to
now.
be...
I know you're Australian. You don't sound Australian. I'm sorry. Occasionally, you'll have a word or two that slips up, and I can hear it. But I have to be like listening to it, and through casual conversations, I'm just not listening well enough for it. So I was absolutely floored when I'm like, wait, no. Like even Mr. G, occasionally, Mr. G will come out and sound really Australian, and then other times like, nah. He could have lived next door to me, and I wouldn't have never known. More civilized in the South. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead. So that's how I got to know Wars, and God bless it. It's been over a year now, and it's been an absolute thrill. We do have some questions already lined up here, but they are going to take a side seat because we have the start of some. Why did that not load in?
Controversial.
Oh, I know why. Because I opened that file wrong. No, so I have like we always start with some very basic questions that need answering.
Okay, that's fair.
There we go. That's the file I was looking for. I'm like, why is that not? All right. So our initial questions that we ask around here, right, are, and somebody was asking me about these, and I'm going to go find that little cheater bit because I'm like, I don't remember them now. How did you get started streaming? Like, what was the impetus that caused Wars to go, I'm going to turn a game on. I'm going to turn a stream to Twitch on, and I'm just going to start talking to complete strangers.
I think I've told the story a little bit in my stream. Well, whenever Svi raids in, I do. And then I sometimes mention it on Momus' stream, but fresh start. So essentially how I got started was I was introduced to Momus, and Momus was absolutely lovely, and we just hung out in his chats heaps. I almost immediately started spamming him with my Satisfactory builds, because he was like, what's going on in your Satisfactory build? So I would send him DMs with my Satisfactory builds, and he was like, you need to start streaming this. And I was like, me stream? No. He then started to have a command in his I think the original thing was just me going, me stream? No one wants to see that. No. And then it built up a little bit of traction. He started to have a Wars redeem, it was literally !Wars, and it would be a link to my page, and he was like, if we get her to 50, she'll start streaming. And I was like, no, that's not happening. then on the other side of that, I was telling another lovely friend of mine, Svi, or Spherism, that Momus was doing this. And then Svi started doing the same. So she would start getting people to follow me, even though I wasn't streaming. And I think and then I was like, I want to kind of make my page look a little bit more interesting. For all these people that are getting trolled by Svi and Momus to come visit my page, I want to have it kind of look like I stream, but have everything be like, was an avid Twitch viewer, friend of Momus and Svi. So I set it all up. I'd had some panels, and then like I even had like a schedule of never streaming, not in your life kind of thing. And then after I'd done that, for some reason I had a day off, and I was just like, I kind of want to see what this OBS thing is. Don't do that if you don't want to stream. Please don't. Because I was playing around with it and just having a real bowl of like going, this is how I want this to look, this is how I want this to look. And I was like, I might just hit the go live button. And then I went live, and then everybody said I told you so, and I became affiliate in a week because I'd had like a ridiculous amount of people supporting me from the get-go. Really, Momus and Sphere. If you just have those two watching, plus Josh, who is one of my other mods, like, they were my 3 that I needed for the couple of days. And then I'd had a ridiculous amount of people just follow out of a prank. And then I just kept streaming from there.
I see.
Yeah, that's the story.
So what you're saying is that Wars was bullied into streaming. Do I have that right?
No, I was given a lot of encouragement to stream, I guess is. Does Josh stream? He streams once every 100 years. So he streams every now and then. And he's so subtle about his streaming. This is Josh Arbarax.
Oh yes, the guy who started up the BitShit Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. The Avengers, if they were a bit shit, I think is the more important bit. Yeah, so that's kind of the story. I wouldn't say bully. I definitely remember saying at the time that Momus was bullying me, but it was honestly just a lovely harassment, if that makes sense. Svi and Momus were just absolutely wanting me to do it, and weren't wanting me to have barriers of what if nobody watches, what if, like, because those are things I was like, well, I'll go live and literally nobody will watch, like, I might as well just stream in Discord.
Right.
And then it's got to this point, so
well, and you have it's gone crazy. You are a very popular streamer these days. Did you ever expect it to get that big?
No.
I think you're over 500 at this point now, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm close to 500. I'm not over yet.
Oh.
Because I think that I'm planning a 500 stream if it happens while I'm still on holidays. But it hasn't happened, so I don't need to worry about it yet. But yeah, I'm not quite there yet.
Not quite there yet, but you're working your way there.
But in terms of did I ever imagine it? No. I keep being surprised by the level of support that I get, and humbled by it, to be honest. When people turn up, I'm like, this is awesome. I don't expect it. I kind of expect to just go live and have nobody still. And yet there are people clawing for that first, and it's lovely to have that support. But I wouldn't be where I am without chat, though.
Well, yeah, no, this is very true. I mean, that's kind of the way it is for any streamer,
Everybody.
though. Is
Yeah.
you wouldn't be where you're at without the support of without people watching. I mean, you could. There are those streamers out there that have no viewers regularly, and they still stream every day because they enjoy it, and I'd say go for it. But you know, there is that. All right. So question number 2. Well, we'll save that one for next one. Your name, Wars HQ. I know it was changed from War 6. But where does
And there was
where
a name
does the
before that
impetus?
as well.
Yeah. So where does the impetus for the name Wars and the how you got here? Where does all that stem from?
Well, the name Wars came from, like, because I wasn't really an online gamer until COVID. I think a lot of people would probably have that story. I know you don't, but I was a console gamer. So I didn't really have the online presence until 2020. And I literally moved out of home in August of 2020 and was definitely feeling the isolation. And so went searching for something that I could do with other people and came across Among Us, funnily enough. And I had to come up with a name because I was like, I don't want my IRL name to be the name that I go by. And Wars was kind of a amalgamation of parts of my name, and I went, I kind of like that. I know that it sounds dumb because it is, but I didn't take on the understanding of it actually being a word. But it probably is the only. I'm dumb. What can I say?
No. I'm sorry. No, I'm just I'm laughing over this just because okay, so we've all had streamer brain moments, right? And we've all done that. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even consider it. I just went with this because I thought it was a good idea, and I didn't even consider it. And now that I look back on it, you go, "Oh, that was just really." Of course, that's a thing. Duh.
Yeah.
If I had just taken 2 seconds and thought about it.
Yeah.
But to come forward and be like, yeah, so yeah, I had a duh moment, and that duh moment was during the creation of, you know, my name. And you're like, wait, what? How is that a thing that you accidentally do? I am now very much so confused.
Yeah. I also
So.
like, if there was something that I could do, like, because now it's just my name. I'm happy with that being my online name. But I probably would go back in time and go, was pay attention to the name and work out the reason why you like this name over other names, because it is a word. Rather than these other ones that are harder to pronounce. So think about it a little bit longer, work out what you want to call yourself, and go with that. So that would be a thing that I would go back in time and work out. But now I think that I've kind of gone, hey, everybody, let's just pay attention to my name being Wars, not what it actually is.
Now,
So, yeah,
I know so the War 6 was not the original name. What was the original name then?
It was Wars with some numbers.
Ah.
And then when I started streaming, like, I think I started streaming with that name. And then I was like, I don't like having numbers at the end of my name. Like, streamers that I know don't have that at the end of their name. So I was like, I'm gonna change it. And then everybody called me Wars Sick. And I was like, this is not what I enjoy. No. So then you were a part of the creation of Wars HQ.
Yes.
Because we were in a Discord call, and I was just like, what do I call myself?
I remember that conversation. We kept going back, and I think you ultimately came up with the Wars HQ because I was just like, you keep going by Wars, so we should do something, appropriately themed for Wars. And I couldn't come up with anything. And you settled in on Wars HQ. You're like, this works. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
If you're happy with that, I'm good.
That makes you think that I'm not that you're not happy with that. I mean,
no, it was perfectly fine. I was trying to do something clever with all of Wars 6, not just like Wars HQ, because like, okay, I guess headquarters works and that sort of thing. I'm like, to be honest, it's grown on me at this point. I see Wars HQ, and that's just it. I don't think about the fact that you could have been War 6 or somebody else. It's your Wars. And Wars is Wars HQ, and it's Wars' headquarters, and that's where it falls in at. Yeah, right, Squirrel. I have yet to. Wars is more loot hungry than I think she ever has been. Like kill somebody. Now,
I am a loot goblin.
I will. I will caveat that with, though, in Elden Ring, if you run around with her in Elden Ring, she will absolutely slaughter everything. The Elden Ring, she tends to be a little bit more bloodthirsty. Just a heads up. Hi, Crow. Welcome in.
Crow would know. Right, Crow? We don't talk about a way out. No. Run, Rick.
So. All right. So last general question, and then we'll start moving into the viewer assigned questions. Again, for those of you showing up new, if you have a question for the Lovely Wars, there is a 5-point redeem in there called interview questions. By all means, hit the button and submit your question. We will be happy to get them all properly answered. So the last one usually tends to sometimes get answered, sometimes doesn't. So don't feel like you have to answer the question. Okay. But
interesting starter.
Well, it's only fair. Because if somebody asked me, I don't know that I would necessarily have an answer, and I would have to tell them, okay, we're just gonna have to skip that question. I don't know. So, what is the long-term goal for you in streaming? Like, is there a big plan? Are you wanting to make that like a full-time thing, or is it just a hobby at this point, or are you hoping to make it big, or anything of that nature?
There's definitely no plan other than it being a hobby for me. I think that over the year that I've been streaming, I did at one point go, this would be cool to do full time. But I guess that's the thing. It's an idea. It's a thing of me to think, hey, I could do this. But I honestly don't think that, like, all the things that you need to become full-time. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Like, the video editing, that, like, actually having a plan for the stream, that kind of thing. Like, I just don't do that yet. And I would have to definitely develop those skills for me to even start that process. So, yeah, for me, it's just a hobby.
Oh, that's fair enough. I mean, there's nothing wrong with hobbies. Yeah. Squirrel, we're gonna allow it just because I saw it come up there, but we'll get to your question real quick. But I don't know that she necessarily covered what game she started streaming with.
No,
she just said she turned on the stream and then went to work, becoming massively famous overnight.
That is not the words that I
had. But Jax asks, since he was our first question in here, what is better, VR or reality?
Reality. Easy. Though I do wonder whether Jax thinks the opposite, because I do remember seeing them say, there is one clear answer.
It's obvious, right? Right?
Reality.
Reality. Yeah, well. Oh, there you go.
But I don't think
see.
I quite
I was just
finished
reading
the
it out
story
of the.
of my name.
Yep.
Which, sorry, I just want to finish that off because in my head I'm like,
No.
probably didn't draw the dots. So by the time I'd finished playing Among Us, like, which was like 3 months of a craze, at that point, like, there wasn't any other name that I could think of to have as a Twitch profile name. Because I had my brother's housemate is on Twitch, and at that point I'd joined the Twitch. So, like, I've only been, I think I created a Twitch account in 2020. And I couldn't think of any other name, and I was like, I've already got this one. I've been talking to people, and people have been referring to me as Wars. Let's just go with Wars. But at that point, it had all of the numbers at the end of it. And then we moved into Warzik, which isn't, it was meant to just be Warzy with 2 X's. And then Wars HQ. But yeah, that's the end of that story. Just to tie that off.
No. It's. I am happy to have the tie off. It is just fine. So Squirrel says, what game did you start streaming with? Like, what was your first game that you actually turned the stream on for?
So the funny thing was that the whole reason that Momus was so like plucky of me streaming was he wanted me to stream Satisfactory. But the first game I streamed was Ori and the Blind Forest. I was trying to do one life runs for some reason. That was what I wanted to do when I first started streaming. And
so
Ori
you
and the Blind
started
Forest.
in on your stream doing challenge runs, like that
Not
at the very
very well.
beginning.
Yeah. Very poorly. I didn't get past the water section. But I'd played Ori and the Blind Forest, and I was like, for some reason when I was like, what do I want to try and stream? What do I think will be entertaining? And I was like, me dying a bunch sounds entertaining.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm gonna play Ori and the Blind Forest because I was really keen to try and play Ori and the Blind Forest on the One Life Challenge because I absolutely adored that game. Like, it'd be in my top 5 games. But I didn't want to just play it again because I was like, that's not entertaining because, like, they're just gonna see my reactions that I've already had.
Right.
So I was like, I'll do that. I think, like, it only took a week for me to boot up Elden Ring for the first time, and then I didn't boot it up for, like, 9 months after that. I booted up Elden Ring because I'd bought it around the same time. And I was obviously influenced a little bit by Momus. And was like, I'm just going to give it a go. And I think we were even going to do the co-op thing at that point. But I couldn't get out of Tutorial Cave. I was on keyboard and mouse and absolutely hated it. So that's why, like, whenever everybody's like, I'm going to start playing Elden Ring, I'm like, are you going to play it on keyboard and mouse or controller? Like, that is an earnest question for me because I hated Elden Ring when I played it on mouse and keyboard. I couldn't get the mechanics of it. It was too many buttons and it hurt my head, and I think I was stuck in Tutorial Cave, not even getting up to Soldier of God, for about an hour and a half.
Wow.
Like, it was a it was a time, and Josh was just having the time of his life, laughing his head off. And Momus was like, I'm ready to get in the call whenever you're ready. And I'm like, because I think with co-op, like, you just need to get out of, like, we thought that I would just have to get out of Tutorial Cave. But obviously we've since played it together that you can load in together from the beginning. But I think we weren't going to do the same as co-op mod. I think we were going to do, like, normal multiplayer. So it would make sense to have to be out of Tutorial Cave for that.
Right.
And then 90 minutes in, I was like, sorry, Bovis, we're not playing a game together. I logged off of stream. So yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest was the first game that I played. I was stubborn with that game. I think I played it for a good month or two before I moved on to other games. Because I was like, I'll get there, and then I barely got anywhere with it. Because
Crow, I would beg to differ. I would say it's not that there's too many buttons even on controller. Now, to be fair, when I first started doing Elden Ring, I didn't hit the setting to turn all the buttons that they were the right setting. And I started out on controller to begin with, but then I was trying to read all the keyboard buttons, and so I spent a good chunk of time like, okay, it wants me to do that. Which button is? Let me hit a button until the right thing happens.
Yeah, it doesn't make it clear how to like get to the menu to change the prompts or anything like that.
And so I think my first playthrough on that was on stream too, and I'm just like, yeah, it says to do. I have no idea what button that is. We're just going to push buttons until it does the thing.
I remember that, and I think I remember being like, Nori, like you need to change the prompts in the menu. Go here, and I'm a backseat streamer sometimes.
I think we all are, but that's okay. That is quite all right. I don't see any harm with backseat streaming. All right. Let's see if there's anything else, or I will just start asking more questions. No more questions from the audience at this point. Okay. So, of the games that you have of the games that you have played, whether on stream or off stream, do you have a particular favorite, or do you have a particular favorite genre that you find that you gravitate to?
This is an interesting question. I definitely have developed more of a favorites over the last year than before, or more of a conscious awareness, because it's something that chat ask a lot, right? But they're like, oh, what kind of game do you enjoy the most? 'Cause when they see you playing a bunch of different games, they want to work out what you enjoy. And
yeah,
the first couple of times people asked, I was like, I see game, I click game. I think if I was asked that question a year ago, I would definitely say Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy X were like my top favorite games, and they're still up there. But the funny thing is, over the last year, and it's probably the games that I played on stream, and played to completion that I've enjoyed the most. So like Sekiro is now in my, like, I would say top. I wouldn't say either of them are run rig. That's the funny thing. Sorry, just a comment of Risk of Rain 2
you're
and
fine.
Slay the Spire.
I saw them too. Is what I started laughing about. So you're fine.
But I would say in that top 5, I would have Outer Wilds. That game.
Interesting.
And the way that it makes you think. I haven't done the DLC. Only, I think, because I had a really weird of something that I chose to do, which was dumb. But I played Outer Wilds originally on Xbox Game Pass. Plug for Xbox Game Pass.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored. Only Momus is in our community. It's not sponsored. So I played it on Xbox Game Pass because I'd watched Com play a little bit of it, but he like made it very clear he didn't want me to watch it because he was like, you need to experience this game as a game. No spoilers. So like there was a few little things that I knew about before I played the game myself. But the game and the experience as a whole of how like the game opened up just from your knowledge, like the entire game, like you could finish the game in 5 minutes if you knew exactly what to do, But if you don't know how to do that, it takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours.
Well, but I would say that kind of fits the what is essentially that. I mean, it's a puzzle game. Once you know the answers to the puzzle, they're no longer a challenge. They're no longer. It's about, did you enjoy the play? Did you enjoy how it delivered the story? There are other esoteric things with which you can gravitate to and go, this is why I really enjoyed this, or this is why I really enjoyed that. But yeah, so I would still make the what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with pointing out that you really enjoy. Like, I really enjoy puzzle game wise. I really enjoy like Portals. I have played Portals so many times I can beat it blindfold. I kind of know all the puzzles by heart at this point. I wait long periods of time between replay sessions just so that I have to think about the solutions longer than 2 seconds. But I still like the game. It's still a fun game to play. So I get your statement. That's all I think I'm trying to say.
Like, I have played other puzzle games, but they didn't make me, like, I wouldn't put them in my favorites only because they didn't make me feel what Outer Wilds made me feel at the end of it. Like, I remember, like, if I had not played it on stream, I think I would have been in tears at the end. But I was like, I'll just pay attention to what's going on in chat right now. I'm feeling a lot of emotions, but what's going on in chat? Because of how
you cheated.
Yeah. That the whole story was just made me feel. And not a lot of games had that for me. And I think that the ones that really absorbed me into the game are the ones that I have in the top. So Outer Wild for me. Another one is Sekiro. That game is another game that I remember being so frustrated by because unlike Elden Ring, because it was my second Souls-like game, Elden Ring was my first. Unlike Elden Ring, I couldn't overlevel. Sekiro is very skills-based, literally in the game and with your knowledge. And unlike Elden Ring, I hadn't had any spoilers from moments of watching him play 700 hours of Elden Ring to kind of understand Elden Ring before even picking up the game. And I remember having, this is an awesome game, and the first playthrough I ever did, I barely ever parried once, which is really dumb if you've ever played Sekiro. You should parry, you should deflect.
I can't say that I've ever played that game.
But the main mechanic of it is to deflect. But I'd just come off Elden Ring, and so iframes were my favorite friend. Iframes protected me from the big bads. So I iframed a lot of my first playthrough, and chat lost their minds watching me iframe my way through to Ishin. Just going, what the heck are you doing? And it literally took fighting the last boss to get an understanding of needing to parry. And I fumbled my way through parrying because, funnily enough, with the final boss, you can't iframe. Well, you can iframe, but the boss will kill you. And it took the second playthrough, third playthrough, fourth playthrough for me to go, this game is awesome. Because I'd finally accepted the game's mechanics for what they were, of deflecting and parrying. I was doing my own challenge run, though I wasn't aware of it, Crow. So Sekiro was a game that I platinum, perfected, whatever word you want to use, because I just really wanted to stay in that world. And I loved all the endings to that game. But Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy X are still up there for me, but I think a lot of that is nostalgia. because they were kind of my
Fair.
first games that I ever played. Or I didn't actually play 8 until much later in my life, but I'd watched my oldest brother play it, and watching him play it when I was like a little child, and it was just an awesome experience. It was like, this is like a book, but you get to pick the options. It's your choose your own adventure. So I really enjoyed going back and playing that a little bit later. Tiny Warriors, exactly. But yeah, now when I think of my favorite games, I still have Final Fantasy 8 and 10, but Outer Wilds and Sekiro have definitely snuck their way in there. Well, absolutely bashed their way in there. And Ori and the Blind Forest, that was a really cool game. And definitely made me feel some stuff.
The feels. They'll get you. They will get you. Gotta watch out for them.
They will get you. Yep. I like that Runrick is like, oh yeah, that game. Yeah. Yeah. Sekiro. Sekiro all the way.
It's fantastic. Now I have watched you do a lot of collaboration streams with many different personalities. From Momus to I think Kino and Mr. G and pretty much all of the people here in the den. And I'm certain that you've got other popular talents that you have hung out with. I'm not asking you, do you have a favorite?
I was like, this is an interesting question. If that's where it's going.
I'm trying not to avoid the do you have a favorite, just because it's so hard, right? Because you enjoy playing with everybody that you play with for different reasons. So do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I like that Roderick's just like, give us the gas. Who's the favorite? Let's spill some beans.
So what I would like is like take 2, 3, 4. You pick the number that you want. But some memorable moments with the streamer in questions that you've had. And
Bessie, I haven't even played a game with you. Sorry, that was really aggressive. But Bessie, I haven't played a game with you.
Yeah, you did. You played Minecraft with him. And Duzukino. You were based with Kino. And
not on stream.
No, not on stream. But no, so some memorable moments that you've had with the various different people that you have collabed with. Do you have any like ones that stick out in your head? You're like, oh wow, this was hysterical. You got to hear about this, or that sort of thing. I was trying to avoid who's your favorite specifically because we all have like tons of favorites. And then they don't need to know that they're favorites. They'll survive. I promise. They'll live without knowing that they were the favorite.
Friend. That was off stream, friend. I don't think it was on stream. Sorry.
Well, it doesn't have to be on stream. I'm just talking about because it doesn't matter. Just a memorable moment that you've had with a personality.
Corey's asked a very contentious question. So some favorite moments. I think I really felt privileged that Momus invited me. And then I invited myself twice to his marathon stream. That playing Risk of Rain with him on his marathon stream was a ton of fun.
Yeah, I remember that. You kept stealing all the loot from him.
Yeah, he it's the same off stream too, because we play a lot off stream, and there's been some times that like he will say nothing, but we will end a run of Risk of Rain, and I'll have 100 more items in it. And he will just have gone, yep, that's fine. I'm like, Momus, I've got 100 more items in you. bring this up and I'll stop. Like, that's like levels worth of loot. Yeah, in terms of memorable moments, another memorable moment for me was when I just like very organically, maybe it felt organically to me, but I jumped into Kino's stream one day when it was like 1 o'clock for me, and then I just stayed up until 8 a.m. And Kino every now and then was just like, "Do you want to go to bed?" I'm like, "Nope." And we like ran around killing abominations and just had a heck of a fun. You can teach more stuff about Risk of Rain far too much. No.
Ooh. Hang on, folks. Oh, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Yeah, well, so so she forewarned me about this the other day when we were talking. She has been having some power outages and whatnot over in their area, so we'll see if she comes back. Wait, she's not avoiding that question. I promise. Ah, there she is. Renrig, I think that's what you want to happen. I don't think that's what actually happened. These two polls right here are going to absolutely... Yo, cabinets, welcome in. Have to bear with us. Our guest for the evening is currently having some minor difficulties on their end, and they should be back. Or they may not be back. We were told... but they had a power outage. We'll see if they come back or not. If they do, great. And if not, then you guys are stuck with me. I mean, they are still in chat, but I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll see. We'll take it in time. We'll take it one step at a time. Sometimes it's like Wars is still here with you, right? Exactly. I just came up with another question I had to ask too. So we'll wait. If not, we'll have to have her back, and we'll have to do a part 2 of this interview. You got a question for me? Well, go ahead, Crow. I will be happy to answer your question. If it's who's your favorite streamer, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to like the answer, so don't ask. Demon Cycle. Who's the author on that one? Because that sounds actually very familiar. Peter V. Brett. No, I have not read that one then. There was a... what was the name of that series? There was a series I had read by it had almost the same name to it. Really? but it wasn't. Definitely was not written by Peter V. Brett. I can tell you that for now. That had almost the same name to it, and that's who I thought you were asking me about. But that one was based in outer space, and it was a whole space themed whatever. Runrig, I hope you have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for hanging out. Have a good night, my friend. And we will see you next time. Oh, I'm certain she will get everything sorted just fine. It'll be fine. In the meantime, we will continue. Hey, whoop. Welcome in. Our guest is currently having a bit of a power outage right now. They will be back momentarily. I say that. I have no actual guarantee that they will be back momentarily, but I'm going to believe that they're going to be back momentarily. Wow, these turn on different places. Oh, that's ultimately where I gotta get to.
I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
There's no guarantee that it's not gonna go off again mid-sentence. It's the earliest that it's happened though.
Yeah.
The earliest it's happened previously is 11:30, so it's getting earlier in the day. Yay.
Well, this is good, I think.
No, it's not good. It's the other thing. It's the bad thing.
Oh, it's the bad thing. Got it.
It's the bad thing. Oh boy. I'm not blaming the internet. I'm blaming my power. Like, my entire setup just went all at once. It was great.
I love they're like, quick, ask the hard ones before she gets out of here again. So yes, we were discussing memorable moments with streamers that you've collabed with.
See, there's just so many, and like I really enjoy my time with everybody.
Well, that's fine.
No,
I didn't say it had to be like your top choices. It was just, some ones that stick out in your mind.
And those are the ones that came to my mind. So.
Okay. Crow does ask the hard hitting, who's your favorite streamer? There's one right answer. Well, yes, her favorite streamer is Wars HQ. No.
Yeah, self-love, people. Self-love.
Right? There's nothing wrong with a little bit of self-love.
Exactly. I don't know if I'm capable of having a favorite, if that makes sense. Like, because the same thing happened with the games. Like, I can't pick a favorite. So, I think that... Oh, that's an interesting thing. Sorry, I was just looking at something.
No, you're fine.
I love that new emote.
I feel like that should just be his Crow's normal look. just huh? Sorry, Crow.
What?
Not really.
What? No, I want to look at the panic one bigger. Can you put the panic one in chat? Because I can see the panic one, but not big. Panic! Hey, thank you. Very well done, Crow. Were those the ones that you did while you were in a call the other day? Shiny. Oh, that's so cute.
Well, we definitely know she likes cute emotes. So there you go. If you want Wars to start using your emotes, they've got to be cute, people.
I don't know. I think that I've got 2 emotes that I use everywhere, and my roundup absolutely proved this. And yet one of them isn't in my favorites. Confusion?
I don't know. So
one of them is that. Absolutely. See? Runrig knows. Runrig, also bed. Bed now. You got this.
So out of curiosity, since we're on the subject of emotes, where does your emotes come from?
See, mainly.
Where?
Etsy. It's an online market thingy. I looked up so because I became affiliate so quick, I just kind of was like, well, I want to give people something for me hitting the affiliate button. So I like rushed into finding, oh, I want some Bailey ones. So I was like, brown poodle, and came across my poodle emotes. And then saw that I had unlocked animated emotes, and just by chance saw the Pikachu ones and was like, I gotta have those, my precious. and then I've just never got like custom ones. That it was always the plan to get custom ones, and then I just enjoyed my emotes too much for that. I've created some of them on my own, like the bed now one, the hype, the panic roll. I think that those are the main ones that I created, but otherwise they are the ones that I started streaming with because I had a very generous person very early on drop like 80 gift subs. So I unlocked all of the emote slots immediately. So there was no like waiting to get a new one, It was just I instantly had all the emote slots open. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one way of putting that.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes crazy works.
You typed in golden retriever. There are some very cute ones. There weren't a lot of like poodle ones though, which made me a little bit sad. But that's why I was like, I'll just get custom ones. It will be good. And then I just never did because they just became part of my identity. So, yeah.
Well, it looks like you and Whoop share a fondness for creators.
I like that Bestie did say you're not allowed to tell people to go to bed anymore. That was just a really, I remember that night really well. I remember that night really well. Unfortunately, I just had like a biological insomnia thing. Like, even if like I had tried to go to bed earlier, like I jumped on with Kino at 1 a.m. and just embraced the not going to bedness. Unfortunately, sometimes your brain doesn't switch off, and that was one of those nights. But we had a great time after that.
Well, there you go. And it was a memorable moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I have horrible sleep insomnia sometimes. I will wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and be like, okay, no, I'm not going back to bed. All right, well, take care. Thank you for stopping by.
See ya, Whoop. I think I see you sometimes when you're having those moments.
Yeah.
So normally it's animal related.
Sometimes the cats jump on my head and they're like, you must get up now. Okay.
And then we get lovely proofs. I would much prefer you have sleep. Please always put sleep first.
I sleep when I actually do an awful lot of sleeping, contrary to popular belief. I do an awful lot of sleeping. But
that's good.
Sometimes it just sleep is not a thing.
Yeah. Sometimes like the stressing about not sleeping like becomes a barrier to sleeping. I know that sometimes I will just go, you know what? I'm not sleeping right now, and I'll go do something else, and then the wave of sleep will hit me. And it's like, excellent, I can sleep now.
Oh, no, for me, if I'm not sleeping, it's because my brain has just solved an answer to a particular problem I've been working on. And when that occurs, I can't sleep until I get it out and onto paper, because I'll forget it, and then I'll be like just seriously irritated with myself for hours, days even, after that's done and over with. Be like, I can't believe I had the answer, and yeah, no. I gave it up and went to bed. I didn't record it somehow. What was I thinking? Yeah,
pen and paper next to the bed.
That doesn't actually work so well. So I say that it doesn't work so well. So well, everybody by this point knows I'm a software developer. And so usually when I'm working out an issue, I am working out a multi-step heuristic algorithm issue that has like about 24 different steps that has to be done in a particular order, and trying to rationalize the logistical flow of that order correctly. It's not an easy thing sometimes. And especially when the barrier to some of those is barrier to some of those issues are directly in the development hands of somebody that is not you, and you can't do anything. So there are occasions where you're dealing with black boxes that you have literally.
I said nobody can see my face.
Oh, did you?
I'm back.
Oh, there we go. I just had to go click on the window and reset.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome in, Sappy. Welcome in. Yes. All right. So for excuse me, anybody coming in brand new, we are currently doing our Talk Tuesdays. This is our interview streams, and today's special guest is a Wars HQ. You'll see her lovely little figure on the screen. For those of you who don't know, this fabulous Australian streamer has taken time off from their very busy schedule to come in and hang with us and answer all your fantastic questions.
Busy. Totally busy. Absolutely. I've got so much on my plate right now.
Well, let's be fair. Talk Tuesdays are you're usually working.
It's true. It is currently time off today though.
So we caught a break here because you are on holiday, which means that we can pester you for a few hours.
As long as my power allows it.
Well, yeah.
Boy. Oh boy. Not at all worrying. And the fact that all the electronics are just getting hard cut off at the same time is a little bit worrying. And then I told an electrician, and the electrician is like, I'll come out Friday. I'm like, okay, that means it will be happening for a week, but cool.
That's what you're just like, really? Friday?
Yeah. Better than them not coming at all. But it's
well, this is true. But we're happy to have you. Thank you for dropping in, Safi. Lovely as always. Okay, so we've done the who's your favorite. We've talked about so. We appreciate it. Kellen Ghost scared you. Nice. I had a question and then it slipped.
I remember
Old
you
man
saying,
brains.
I just come up with a question.
Yeah, well, the emotes,
hearing
but you're
that.
like, yeah, I got those from Etsy. I'm like, oh. I was expecting some long drawn out. No, I Googled up and I said, yeah, I went to Etsy and just Googled it. And I'm like, really? Okay.
Sorry.
That's one way of doing that. No, it's the answer to the question. There's nothing to be sorry about.
Well, it was
I
more that
mean,
you're like, I was expecting a long drawn out thing, and nope, it was a quick. I Googled.
I Googled, but it's a valid way of doing that.
At some
there's-
point, I should get a custom. Maybe I should talk to cousin.
Cousin. Oh, well, I've got 5 new emotes, courtesy of cousin. So,
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would recommend. Zafi, who's also in here, is also working on a little art project for the channel as well.
Ooh.
So,
Is it? Do we get any more information?
nope, that's all you get. It's top secret. It is hush hush.
Sappy, do you want to let us know? Cousin would jump in the chat to drop Ailey.
I would not be surprised. There is lots of reference material in the pet section.
There is a lot of reference material. Bailey is adorable. Hence, all of the references of Bailey in the pet section. Yeah. I never reopened Slay the Spire. So I've just been watching you try and do this puzzle.
Oh, yeah. This one's particularly evil. And I'm like, this is only the second one, and there is so many of the turn the light out.
Yeah.
It's very tactfully done, Safi, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Doing something outside your comfort zone is like the most rewarding.
It can be very rewarding. Yeah, I figured this one out like during the Fox and Bull question and answer phase. I was like, oh look, I can just zoom out. But then, how much does this really help? Not one bit. Like this is not helpful at all.
Yeah.
It just tells me where I already know I need to go, but not how to really get there, because there is a point, right? So I see a different direction, right? So there's this point right here, and we can go like this, but then I need a turnaround, and I can't turn around.
Yeah, wasn't I mid answering a question when my power went out?
Well, we were discussing the memorable moments, and so
yeah, I did finish that sentence. It's cool.
Yeah, that one got we did finish. That one got done.
That's so rude.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the fact that you have to somehow slide in there and not touch any of the corners.
There's no turnaround, right? So we can go up, but at that point I'm kind of like, now what? Anyways. So,
do you go through, do you wrap around all those things and then go through?
Yeah, well, once you wrap around all the white blocks, then the door in the bottom corner opens up and you can sneak out.
Oh no, I meant wrap around those 3 to go through to the one on the right. This is totally what we're all here for, guys.
No, so I can go over here to the right just fine.
Oh yeah, I know.
I can even come back from the right.
Oh, okay.
And then this would be how I get out. So, like, I figured out, but there's 2 blocks. And there's no way to turn around.
Problematic. Thanks.
So here's a question. Since nobody else is going to ask any more questions. I guess that's fair though, since it's. Oh. No. Well, so they're my interviews anyways, so I should have more questions than everybody else, and that seems fair.
Exactly, Swifty. I saw that. I went, ooh.
Just making Nori do work. It's fine. It's fine. So you have background music that you play. Because to be fair, I was poking around your about page and reading all the things and like, what in here can I take with us so that we have something to talk about? The short answer is not much.
So what you're saying is I need to make my about me more interesting. Got it.
I did not say that at all. Maybe just sort of. No, I did like you had your dates down there, right? For like when you started. I was really impressed with how quickly you went. Sorry. I think I just wanged the microphone.
You did.
Should I get a pizza?
Yes.
Oh, and Salty coming in with a 3-month resub. Thank you, Salty.
See you, Crow.
Take care, Crow. Good luck with your shopping. So all that aside, the noises and everything. Your music selections. Now, do you find that you play better with music? Do you like to game music? Do you prefer not to game music? Do you prefer your own music?
Depends on the game, honestly.
And
like
just because I have, I was going to say, just because I have never been able to be awake to catch the start of your streams, I don't even know if you have a startup intro music.
I don't have startup intro music. Though I do end up typically starting with the same song from the playlist. Because I just hit the playlist. Or I'll just have the music from the loading screen. So like Elden Ring, I would very regularly just let the Elden Ring music play. Though, got so annoyed because it would count it as copyright. And I'm just like, wait, I get it, but you have no problems if you can see the game, but because it's before the game, you have issues, which I get, but it also annoyed me. So we stopped doing that, and started playing, like, free music. I came across Game Chops in about October, I think, and I absolutely love some of their library. So have been using that, and that is like streamer friendly music. They're happy for you to adopt it. And they don't even like, they're like, you don't have to give us recognition, but I'm like, I kind of want to. So at least have that on my about me. Though I probably should make it somewhere on there that like Highland is probably the album that I play the most of from the Game Chops stuff. Once Highland's finished, I typically end up just going to any general Game Chops because I don't want to listen to that album 50 million times, but it is the one that I start off with, and it's quite cozy. But back to the original question of what makes you decide whether to play the game music or not. I think it depends on if it's something that is captivating me, or that I'm like, I want to play my own music. So like Slay the Spire, I actually started it last night with like just some lo-fi music, and it was really odd. I didn't enjoy it. And then went to Slay the Spire music. Elden Ring, I always just had Elden Ring music. Same with like Ori and the Blind Forest, Outer Wilds. It's more like the cozy games that for some reason the music cuts out. I just normally put on lo-fi because I don't like it cutting out. I want something to be just listening to in the background to chill out to. So things like Valheim, Stardew, Graveyard Keeper, those kind of games that the music cuts out, I just turn that off and listen to my own. Yeah.
Yo, Hound. Welcome in. Thank you for the resub, my friend. Okay, so Salty asks, what are your plans for the zombie apocalypse?
My plans for the zombie apocalypse. I don't have many plans.
By the sounds of it, Salty, she's going to get eaten.
I am going to get eaten, most likely. I do have a close friend that lives about 5 minutes away from me that has quite a few guns. So they might be a good person to just go, hey, save my life. But I'm probably just going to get eaten. Try and work out how to get Bailey to safety so that he doesn't get eaten. But I probably wouldn't even be able to look after myself. Do you have a plan for the zombie apocalypse story?
Dig a very big
that
hole.
Around to you. Oh, okay. And
I
just
am
walk
going to
the
dig
zombies
a
into it?
very... I will have a wall behind me. I will dig a very deep hole and then just sit there and thumb my nose at them as they walk headfirst into it.
What happens if the zombies end up filling the hole?
You just kind of cover them over and you go dig another hole somewhere else.
Okay, fair.
Like, I'm just going to have trenches of dead zombies just hanging out. Okay, so athletic zombies only occur within certain zombie franchises. I am very much a believer in the Night of the Living Dead zombie franchise, which means that there are no athletic zombies. They're all just kind of stumble bumble, easy to deal with. So I'm not worried about it.
And you won't get eaten.
That's right. If there are actually athletic zombies, which, I mean, in fairness, would prove to be an interesting point, because then what that would mean is that we're not actually dealing with like Night of the Living Dead zombies. We're dealing more with like T-Virus, so Resident Evil style zombies. Because if anybody who's played the game series knows that those zombies tend to keep their physical attributes. Other than intelligence, because all I want to do is eat. So, there you go.
Yeah, I'm a great horror person, so like I don't watch any of that stuff, and I haven't played like the Resident Evil games.
Do you play horror games? Have you ever played a horror game? Has Wars
like,
ever been scared?
Oh, I've been scared, but it doesn't need to be a horror game to scare me. I think the only horror game that I play, and you would laugh because you don't think it's a horror game, is Spaz.
I laugh just because well, you were there when the first time I played Phasmo. I laughed like an idiot the entire time. I'm like, this is not scary. This is just funny.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, stupid! I was taunting the ghost at one point in time during that play session, as I recall. I'm just like, yeah, neener. He'd come kill me every time. I would just laugh about it, just like There's nothing scary about this.
Mm. I know. But to be fair, did you work out what the ghosts were? Like, because that's the
Not one
other
bit.
part of the game.
I died so quickly, I never got a chance to even figure it out. Like, I didn't know half of what was going on. I just kept dying all the time because I was just like, you suck, ghost. And the ghost usually took offense at that and then, promptly killed me.
This feels accurate.
Well, you were there for most of that, and you're like, Nora, you've got to stop taunting the ghost. I'm like, why? This is so much fun.
You would live longer. See, I
that was exactly what you told me too. You were like, you would live longer if you just, stop taunting the ghost. And,
Nah, you wanna cause all of the death.
So, Hound, I watch a lot of people play a lot of different games, and I have watched a lot of horror games play. And unfortunately, if it doesn't jump and shriek right on the screen at me, like a serious jump scare, it doesn't. I've watched Mortuary Assistant. There's nothing scary about Mortuary Assistant. And this came up during my conversation with Squirrel during the very first of these Talk Tuesdays. Big reason why horrors just don't scare me is simply I worked a lot of rescue when I was younger. I spent 10 years on the back of the ambulance as a paramedic, so I'm used to dealing with a lot of adrenaline running through my veins, and being scared and having to make life or death decisions and that sort of thing. And so atmospheric games just don't scare me. No, that's called bug finding, Hound, and we enjoyed those. Those are fun.
They make you laugh.
They do. I get a good kick out of them a lot of times. So other than Phasma, you don't actually get involved in any sort of horror games.
Nope. They can stay away from me. And I would be very happy.
You want somebody fun to play a horror game with. You go play Devour and you get Cerberus to go play with you. That's a good time.
I'm just imagining Bestie. You're just going, nope, 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 nope.
That is exactly what he does. The entire nope, 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 nope. Bye, I'm out of here. Nope. Your Bestie nopes out of almost every situation. Hey, okay, so there was that. Was it Halloween? I don't remember when we were doing it. We were playing the Spider Queen level in Devour, and I was literally just screaming. Not screaming, but I was yelling. And apparently, my audio system will kill me to avoid people from. We do need to get something on the card, Serb. What happened to the Frightful Five? The Frightful Five turned into like the Terrified Troop, because we are more than 5 people now down in there, and then we just don't have anybody planning to do anything. I don't have anybody who wants to do anything. Like that's kind of the problem. We need to get people who want to do stuff, which I think is always a problem, right? Is scheduling and getting commitments from people to do things. Now,
absolutely.
I was going to say, I know you are in Australia, so I would imagine you have quite the challenges regularly in scheduling with people. Do you have any tricks that you do to make it easier for scheduling? Is there stuff that you find makes life a little easier?
Organize it.
cheat.
Nori, we do collabs regularly. Is that not the facts?
Well, I've got you penned in for a regular Friday until we're done with Elden Ring, which
Yes, and then what? Who organized it?
you did, because you moved you came up with the timetable for that.
I like that you think that, but it was definitely you.
Nope.
Hmm.
Because if you recall, it was on Saturday, and then you were like, yeah, I got to move that because your Stardew moved. And I'm like, well, what do you want to move it to? And you're like, I could do Friday. Okay.
Okay, this might be facts. You might have hit me with facts.
So back to my question. How do you find, how do you go about doing your scheduling plans?
Mainly what I thought was get the other person to make up their scheduling. I know I did that. Well, originally I did that with you. I was like, what time suits you? With the Stardew collab, Zelda did it. I just said, you can't do this time, I'm asleep. And that was my level of interference. And yeah, normally it's just I ask the other person what is a reasonable time for them, and go from there. But I don't do as many collabs as I used to. Like I used to like beginning of me streaming. It was essentially like, hey, Wars is live, but I'm streaming with Momus, and it's mainly a Momus stream. Or I can't remember. Like I think I did a couple with Crow. Like we did a way out early. Like I was a lot more collaborative last year than I feel like I am this year.
I would say that's a fair statement. I think I've seen you. Like I remember towards the end of 2022 when I first started watching you were doing more with a bunch of other people, and then you kind of stopped through the course of this year. What few shows and whatnot I have managed to catch. I would say I would say I catch them all, but in honesty, I have to go back and watch the VODs and catch the reruns. Unfortunately,
normally when I do collabs now, it's normally on the other person's stream. So like the Stardew, the other 3 streamed and I didn't. With Crow and I, we finished a way out after a year, and we did it on his stream, not mine. So it's just, for some reason, I'm just like, other people can host the party, I'm just there for the party.
Now, do you find that that's easier for you to let somebody else do the aforementioned stream and then just come in after the fact?
Just, I don't know if other people can say what they feel, but I don't know if I like 2 people streaming. Like, at least for me, 2 people streaming at the same time for the 2 different perspective thing. I know that I enjoy watching you stream with Serb and Brotherfed and stuff, and I watch you all, but like, I feel like I become a less entertaining person when I'm having to balance streaming that person's chat, my person's chat, gaming, and just trying to hold a conversation. So I'm like, I'm just gonna hang out in that person's stream, be myself, and not worry about that as much, and just let my people know where to go if they want to hang out with that person.
So what you're saying is you stick all your troublemakers on somebody else.
Exactly. That's how Runrig found his way here. Right.
Yeah, I know, and now we've been stuck with him. It's fine.
But yeah, I
Okay,
think it's
so
more just I feel like my vibe kind of stops being my vibe if I stream. Like I don't know if it's as enjoyable.
I've officially made one of the best Tuesday rhymes for your stream. Nice. You summoned him back.
Hi, Renry. How you doing? Go to sleep. Ignore
Hey,
people
congrats,
calling
Jax.
your name.
So, if you were starting up streaming for the first time, right? If you like you earlier, and this is your fault because you kicked my brain to thinking about it. So earlier you were talking about how if you could go back and tell Wars you how, you know, don't do the name this way, do it that way or whatnot. You would suggest a different name. What other pieces of advice would you give past you, a new streamer coming on board who's trying to get started up? What helpful advice would you suggest for somebody trying to get going?
See, I feel like I'm not the best person to ask because my startup was completely like, I don't know if it'd be copyable.
It may not be, but it doesn't change the fact that you can still have an opinion and a suggestion to make. I mean, you've been streaming now since, well, you've been an affiliate since 2022, right? It's now 2023 going into 2024, so we're coming around. You're going to start working on your second year of streaming, so there are things that you have learned over the course of that time, like experiences. Oh, if I had it to do over, I would do this differently, or I would do that differently. These are some of the things that I would look for. You know, that sort of advice you could give to somebody. You do have advice to give. It doesn't mean that necessarily I would suggest they follow your startup of streaming, because no, you're right. That's not going to work for everybody. However,
I don't know who would be able to recreate that. Just get 2 streamers to bug the heck out of you till you just decide to jokingly stream. I think from what my 2 cents are, if you want to start streaming, is to not stress about what other people, and this is coming from a people pleaser, a historical people pleaser, set your own goals that are related to something that you can control. So I want to go live 3 times this week, not I want to reach 50 followers by blah time, because you can control your actions, you can't control other people's actions. You can work on increasing your stream in a way that you would like, but you can't control if people are gonna hit your stream or not. So that's the only thing that I kind of work on it myself, and would recommend other people do, because I do hear a lot of small streamers go, oh, I'm really struggling to get the 3 consecutive viewers, and it's really annoying me, like my stream is amazing, and it's like, I think you're gonna continue to be disappointed because you're not you're focusing on that thing that other people can control, not you. So work on goals that you can work on, like whether it's I want to learn how to do video editing so that I can create that. So I feel like that's my 2 cents. I don't always follow my own 2 cents.
I was going to say, I don't think half of us follow our own suggestions or advice, but it's easier to follow the suggestions and advice of somebody else. So, I mean, it's good suggestions. It's a good advice. You know, make your goals achievable. Make it something that you have control over. Don't set your goals depending on where you're dependent on somebody else to achieve that, because that's not a goal that you can achieve. That's something that you're going to
Or-
always struggle with.
Yeah. Or it will happen, but it's not because of anything you've done. Or it is stuff that you've done, but you're not acknowledging that because you're so focused on this other thing that you've not realized is in someone else's control. Yeah. So that's my little bit of advice. And I think that the reason why that's the thing that comes into my mind is that I think I was a little bit focused on numbers a little bit because they just blew up so quickly. Like the fact that I had 30 followers before I even went live, like that went to my head a little bit. So it took me a little while to go, no, this was like things that were outside of my control. I'm going to focus on things within my control.
Stuff that you can do something about. That's fair.
Yeah. And just have fun. Like, for a lot of us, like, some of us want to go full time. And good on you. But if you're doing it just because you want to share your gaming experience and build a community like I do, just make sure you're having fun while you're doing it, because it is a hobby. If it ever, like, becomes a bit more forced, like, have a bit more introspection and work out what's going on and change it if you can.
Let's see. No, I mean it's good advice. It is definitely good advice. Let's see.
Definitely not coming from a person that retired and came back.
Oh, that's a good point. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. Oh no.
We're going to talk about that. Again, none of these questions you have to answer. You can always go, no, we're not talking about that, Nori.
Yeah.
You can just jog on. That is not a topic up for conversation. And that's fair. And we will respect your right to.
My power's about to go out again.
But that aside, what brought you back? I'm not talking about why you decided to retire, but what I mean, ultimately, just you just missed streaming, or did you miss hanging out with the people? Because I think you were still hanging out with pretty much all of the people.
I was hanging out with the streamers, but there was, like, it was funny. Before I retired, I honestly felt like my community was essentially made up of other people's communities.
Well,
that I didn't have.
I think it's worth. Well, I was going to say, I think it's worth noting that all small streamers' communities are made up of other people's communities.
But when you look at your stats and see 60% similarity with another streamer, like literally just one streamer, you go, okay, we're the same community. That's a big similarity. But anyway, I had some stuff happen that led to my retirement, and I decided very suddenly, I think, to do it, because I was like, I followed my advice that I said earlier of, if you're not enjoying it anymore, don't, because well, I couldn't think of a way to fix it at the time, and I probably prematurely decided to just go, well, I'm not enjoying it anymore, so I'll just stop, and I don't want to drag this out unnecessarily, because hey, I'm not bringing more to this community than other communities can bring to these people. And then I retired, and then after about 2 weeks, I was like, I miss streaming. I miss the community. I miss the the jokes. I miss people playfully telling me that I'm playing the game wrong. Not talking about you, Ranrig. And when okay, I need to come back. So I did. And then everybody was just like, saw that coming. I'm like, I didn't. Like, if I honestly thought that it was just a matter of fixing one or two little things, being a little bit more assertive in some areas that I wasn't being before, I would have done that. But I didn't see a way out of what was going on for me at that time. And I was like, when I hit the end stream, I was like, this is it for me. And then it wasn't. And everybody else was like, yeah, saw that coming. I'm like, how? So yeah, it's now a little bit of a meme because it was such a, like, I do feel like I needed to retire because if I hadn't, I don't know if I would have continued streaming, if that makes sense. Like, it was the absence of it, the finality of it that made me reconsider what I was missing about it. Versus if I had just gone, I'm taking a break for a little bit. I honestly don't know if I would have come back. Because I would have gone, I'm taking a break from it, and I wouldn't have thought of what. Well, who knows? I may have decided to come back after a break. But I don't know if I would have been as critically thinking about what I was missing about it, because I was like, no, I had some finality to it. I made that decision for a reason. What am I going to change to make this workable for me moving forward?
Now, did you get sad when you hit that end button and it was that you're like, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore? Was there like melancholy moments, or was it just you were relieved it was done, it was over with?
I was honestly relieved, and I was like, this was the right decision for me at that moment in time. So it was so bizarre that, like, 2 weeks, like, I remember thinking 2 weeks later when the thought came into my head of, what, you miss streaming? I was like, no. Why do I miss streaming? And that's what made me have more of it. You missed one, Nori.
Yeah, I know. I'm like
so it was honestly that when I hit the end stream that time, I honestly was like, yep, that was the right call. So that's why I had such a critical introspection at the 2-week mark when I was like, I missed this streaming thing. I was like, why is this a thing? And worked it out a bit more.
Hey, Fox and Bull. These two have been in the middle of a holy crap charity stream.
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of it.
And their community has gone like absolutely insane. Go back to your stream, you two.
I mean, after 5 days, you might want a break too.
I still think they're going.
Oh no, they definitely are. They're on day 5 at the moment, with a day still to go.
Yeah, they said that quite a bit. They mind your own business. No, it's all good. It's all good. But so let's see. We've got
techniques with Morning Darkness.
Noise.
I definitely need to have a sneak peek at what they're doing.
It's just fine. It is just fine. Well, see, you brought up build techniques. This is your own fault now.
Oh, we gotta talk about circles?
We are going to talk about circles.
Oh, okay.
Because of the various different people that I have seen come in and start playing different types of games, specifically the survival, and thank you for the drive-by, Sierra. We appreciate it. You're the only one that I know of that started playing like Minecraft, for example, and decided the first thing that they were going to do is start building circles.
It's a square game, so circles make sense, right?
Yeah, totally. Why?
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 Funny.
Okay,
I
but
came into
Valheim is
Minecraft-
definitely not a circle game, and you still started doing circles anyways.
pretty. I think that because I'd done the circles in Minecraft, and then everybody was like, "Well, it's you can't do circles in this game either." I was like, "I will show you."
I was going to say, who told you can't do circles in this game? Because they would be wrong, because there is a lot of people who do circles regularly.
Oh, I think it was all
In
in
Valheim.
jest. But I was like, well, they're not quite circles. They're like many pointed shapes. Because they have corners. But like you kind of can fill in the gaps and go, yeah, this is a circle, right?
Yeah, so even a star, if given enough points, will turn into a circle.
True. So, I don't know, it was with Minecraft, I logged in, and I can't even remember why, but I was like, this is a square game. I'm gonna just try and see if I can build a circle. I didn't know anything about Minecraft, and I think Kino gave me a lot of the supplies that because I was like, I was in like a red forest, and I got, like, I think I was cutting them down, but then leaving like half the tree up because it would somehow be linked to another tree. And I was like, well, how is that happening? That's not how gravity works. But I understand now that, like, if the trees are linked in a way, they won't do the modded thing of if you chop it down, it will all go down. And you had to come to my rescue with your jetpack and get rid of the top of the trees because I was like, well, I don't know what to do with that. And then I had a lot of redwood. Because, like, I only got, like, 20 wood from the 3 trees that I tried to chop that were all linked together, and then you and Kino in your, I can't remember what you called yourselves,
We were the tech guys.
yeah, but you had, like, a specific name. But anyway, I enlisted your help to try and get those trees to not be hideous anymore, and then I had like 300 redwood because those trees were huge.
Oh, they were, but I mean, we were doing a modded version at that point in time, and yeah, I think Kino and myself were doing some kind of enterprise as we like to do, because at the time Kino and myself were getting into all kinds of shenanigans. Mischief.
Yeah, I remember you trying to start, like, I think you were originally like, we will do this for you if you do X, and I was like, can you just do it for me? And I think you both were like, alright, let's just help Wars out. Because I was like, because I think you guys were like, oh, what can you do in Minecraft? And I was like, nothing. I've loaded it for the first time. And they're like, oh, and then you just went, all right, here's your stuff. Have fun. And I was like, excellent. And then I went off and then Kino just enjoyed putting all of the carrots in my circle. All of the carrots. Like, he just had crates and crates and crates and crates and crates of carrots. And then I and then I ended up having carrots as my boundary. So many carrots.
So many carrots.
But yeah, I think that like it was possibly like a difficulty thing of it. Just wanted to see if I could do it. And then it was fun. So, and then I got a reputation for being a circular builder.
Round buildings and large hole digging services.
I did also dig some pretty large holes. I remember on the Denmark, I can't remember if it was, I think it was season 2 because I barely was in season 1 because I loaded in and got a Drake's attack and then was scared.
No, you built your house too, but then I don't recall you doing too much past that.
Oh, like the Drake's attack happened while I was still building my house. Like I don't think it was ever finished. Like I don't think I.
We got the roof on
decorated.
there. You did some You had just started decorating. I don't know that you did a ton of decorating.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't finish it. I still have a lot of work to do with the interior design, I feel. Like, I'm okay with, like, tiny, cozy builds, but, like, if it's larger, which that Wars Castle was large, I don't know how to decorate them. But yeah, I think it was trying to prove myself maybe as well, because all of you guys, like, Serb can just build miraculous things. I was like, what could I do to try and prove myself and cement myself into this? So it might have been.
I would almost argue that you can ask any of us, and we'll tell you that we are not builders by any stretch of the imagination. Not by any stretch. And yet. But I mean, it's easy to look at somebody else's work and go, that's amazing. I want to be able to do that. How can I do something like that? And it's worth noting that that's an easy thing to do. The harder part that I would almost say is to actually go out and try to do it. It's easy to sit around and appreciate somebody's hard work. It's somebody else's hard work. Go actually try and do it.
But I think that's kind of what
you may find that you have a talent for it. You just didn't know.
Yeah, when people are like, "What?" Like, I still get surprised when people put me in a similar category to Wags. I'm like, no, Wags is a builder. I'm just a fluffer about her.
I just faff about. Wags can actually throw, bricks on stone and make it look like a palace. Like,
exactly.
How did you do that again?
Exactly.
Oh no, I totally get that. I watch Wags build something. I'm like, I never even considered that. I give up. Why am I doing this sort of games again? But I leave interior design work up to Wags. He's an artist. He has an artistic view on things. He definitely has a way about doing stuff, which is fantastic. But I think everybody has a specialty.
Mine, digging holes and building circular builds.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with that. You do have a definite talent in that department. It's not a talent to be scoffed at, because like I didn't start building my first circle any kind of build in Minecraft ever. Like occasionally no, that's not true. Season 1 of the digital engineering SMP, Minecraft server. I did do a circle project with Zoda. But Zoda laid out the foundations and everything. Like, most of the decoration design was all put in place and built by Zoda. I did all the machinery components and the technical stuff that went into that particular build. So yes, it was a circle building. Yes. Actually building the building that it sat in, and it was a huge building. No, I didn't do. I helped dig out the area and everything, and that was about the extent of my support. There was many months it went without a wall, and then Zoda came in like, yep, we're gonna put a wall, we're gonna put the building in place now, and literally overnight it became a thing. Very impressive. So I think there are people that have talent towards that. I would not be one of them. My talent is more for technical and problem solving.
Absolutely. And you're very good at that.
You couldn't tell
You
it by this
fixed my
game.
roof, but I couldn't work out how to fix my roof.
Oh, that I cheated my way through that. The roof fixing was just because I had done roof work in the past. I'm like, oh, there should be a thing here and a thing here, and this game behaves. And in fact, season 1 was actually kind of funny because season 1 was what set me into the engineering side of how Valheim works.
You then went and did your bridges.
Yeah, I did the 20-some bridges across Denmark. And even now I'm in the process of building a huge bridge on the build server. I've done one
I noticed
out
that
of...
there's a few bridges around now, like the one.
Oh, I haven't... No, I haven't...
That wasn't you?
Nope. I have not built... I am working on a big giant land bridge, but I have not built any like over water bridges since season 2. Haven't done it. There's a bridge, it's not been by me. The only... So other than building my house over there by Spawn...
Mm-hmm.
Which, as far as I'm concerned, I am the laziest builder on there. I have a portal that goes from the portal room to my house, and you can run the distance.
I did notice that, and that made me laugh a lot. Because I'm like, I wonder where this Nori portal goes. So you have a second house. Nope, it goes here. Okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure if there was a reason you didn't spawn in your bed, you could run to your house fast from spawn and then from the portal room.
Yeah, actually, I think it is faster to run than it is to take the portal and go through the load screens. And I will still take the load screens every time.
Okay.
You know, I'm lazy.
Hey, nerd.
Oh, nerd. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Also, hi, Brothervid. I didn't say that before.
The fabulous nerdism. You don't want to know what they're holding. Skyrim. It's a buggy game. I love it. So upcoming games. So right now you're doing the collab with me. I haven't seen a war stream in a while, so I'm not certain what game you're currently playing.
I was playing Slay the Spire. I beat the heart, which was fun. Not last stream, the stream before. And then I played Slay the Spire a bit last night and hated it. So I think I'm finally done with Slay the Spire. And played some Valheim. So I actually don't know the next game at this present moment in time. So stay tuned.
No, have you done Lies of P yet?
I haven't finished Lies of P, no. I started, and that was a game that we were playing on, because I changed up my schedule recently. Like, I used to be play one game until completion and then play the next game. And then I was like, I'll try something different, and I'll try playing a couple of different games a couple of different nights, and see if that helps keep things a little bit spicy and different for everybody, including me. And then I took 3 weeks off and then haven't gone back to the schedule that I had. Because after the 3 weeks off, I did Slay the Spire and then Valheim last night. And I kind of want to go back to Valheim because I don't want to go anywhere near Mistlands on the build server until I've got to Mistlands organically on a normal server. If that, well, not server, but in a normal game.
On a normal play session?
Yeah, because I've never seen Mistlands. So I don't know what is there. And I feel like if I just see it in passive mode, it's not going to have the same effect.
Okay, I understand your hesitancy there. I can tell you that you're not going to see much just because of the way. Well, so the way the Mistlands is done, it's a little hard to see what's going on unless you have the right items. Like you can go visit there and you'll see about 2 feet in front of your face, and the worst thing that'll happen is that you will stumble upon a bug that will just show up out of nowhere and startle you, but it won't attack you, so still pretty safe. So I don't know that you're necessarily going to miss out on too much there, but no, that's absolutely your choice on that.
Because I did have a Valheim Let's Play going, and that's the world that I went back to last night. Well, I had 2 because I had one that I started before my retirement, that I got up to Plains, but I started a new world because I literally couldn't remember how to like break stuff like after you built it. So I was like, this doesn't seem like a good idea to go back to Plains when I don't remember how to run. So I went back to I started a new world, and the idea with the world was to do like a biome challenge that I'd have to do a build in each area before moving on. So like do like a A-frame wood build in the meadows, and then do like a core wood like cabin in the Black Forest, and so on and so forth. So I was thinking of continuing that playthrough, but I haven't. I stopped that for whatever reason. Got distracted with another game. I get distracted by games very regularly. I go, oh, shiny new game.
I was going to say that there seems to be a trend here, there, Wars.
Shiny new game. Who wants to play old game?
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
You say that I have an attention issue.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Oh, no. So there's been many games that I've started and haven't finished on stream, and to my viewers, I'm sorry. Particularly if it was the game that you wanted to play. The funny thing is that the games that I have finished on stream are some of my favorite games now. So I really should just finish games, but I just get distracted. So it's either going to be Valheim, or I probably need to go back and finish Lies of P. That's the what's coming up.
No, that's fair. I'm asking the questions because they're pressing questions that people are dying to know.
Oh, I think my chat are always interested to know what game I'm playing next because it will be anything and everything. I did enjoy having the WoW Tuesdays. That like I would either just pick a game that I was feeling in that moment, or would get chat to pick a game. Which, if Runrig had anything to do with it, it would be Risk of Rain. Just to play a random game and let the randomness have a structure. So that might be a way to get me back into having a structure by going, okay, I play random game on this night. And all being well, as long as that game doesn't take priority. Because that's what happened with Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire was the random game. And then I had a heck of a lot of fun, and then it just became the game.
Nerd, I fully understand the desire to try and solve the puzzle. And this is really just here to give people something to watch beyond the Wars' lovely little character there. On the screen. So, it's eye candy. If you get sucked into it, that's fine. We all get sucked into something. It's all good.
It's kind of like the Nori podcast, but
hey, come for the puzzles. It'll meet a fantastic new streamer, and you might enjoy watching sometime. So it's I'll take it. It works.
It's a very good idea, Nori.
At the rate I'm going at this one, though, I will be here all year on this one. This is definitely harder puzzles.
Out till March. Or do you mean that game? Sorry.
I'm talking about the game. Holy cow! Right here, we'll drop out of this. We'll go. I said drop out, not reset. All the way out. All the way out. It's the wrong button. This is just the first floor. I was actually messing around with this, and last Tuesday before the stream, and I was like, I wonder. I'm like, well, we're going to be coming to the end of this soon. We'll be have to start looking for another puzzle game. And then I discovered this room, and this room has stairs.
Oh.
And this stairs opens up to floors with more puzzles. Like, okay, so there's 2 floors. That's not bad. We can deal with that, right? 2 floors, more puzzles, piece of cake. No. It goes up.
There's an up.
There's an up. There's another floor. It's like, wait a minute. There's more. Oh, and yeah, there are a number of puzzles on this, and I'm like, I'm still only on the first floor's worth of puzzles, and I have no idea what these ones even look like.
See,
well, I will be here.
And watching you play it on Tuesdays has made me want to play it, but I also know that I wouldn't get very far.
I picked this one up for like I picked this one up for like $2. Yep, it is Gladius. I picked it up for $2. I'm like, and the description said, hardest puzzle games on Twitch. I'm like, how bad could this actually be? I have definite concerns that this is definitely not the easiest thing in the world to do. Yes, Gladius Cat came in. Yes, Gladius, it is Wars. We have a redeem for asking Wars questions. So hit the button, throw your question in there if you got something. More vigor, get hit less. Wars is like, I will offer you suggestions on how to play Elden Ring better.
Sorry,
dang
friend,
it!
You wasted the 5 points. But essentially, The first time I watched Gladius, because Gladius started streaming. I do know you too well. Gladius started streaming. Is it about 6 months ago, Gladius? And I met him from Momus's community, and he was playing Elden Ring, and I can't remember how the meme started, but he was essentially like, I can't get past Fire Giant, or I think it was Fire Giant. And I just made the joke of get more vigor, and then he kept putting it into other things. Like I think it was like dexterity and stuff. And I was like, vigor. Like you have 20 vigor. Get more vigor. and then he was just like, or I could not get vigor. I was like, then you're gonna have to get hit less. Because that's essentially what Momus was doing to me in our co-op. Like, he was mortified when he looked at my stats one time, and he was like, how is your vigor only 30? Like, we are in Farum Azula. No wonder you're dying a bunch. And I'm like, what's your vigor at? He was like, 50? I was like, oh, okay. He was like, so where are all your points? And like, I think I had 60 in Arcane or something. And he was just like, maybe respec and put more into vigor. So then, I shared the love of, get better vigor with Gladius, and it became a meme.
And thus the meme was born.
Yep.
No, that's perfectly fair. I was trying to remember where I bumped into Gladius first myself, and I think honestly my first introduction to Gladius was from Gremlins, actually.
Mm.
That is where it's in Mr. 400. And yeah, Gladius showed up over here in my stream, and he was my 400th follower. So that was epic. So Shale is Mr. Waggleton's 100th follower. Gladius is my 400th follower. I would love to say I know exactly who my 100 and 200 and 300th follower were. I don't. That would be an interesting thing. Do you know who your like major milestone followers were? Or is that not a thing that you remember? Wars? Nope. Did we lose her? Wars lost power. Yeah. I think she did. Well, she said it's been happening and it was likely to happen. So not too terribly worried about that. You said it in chat. Yep, power out. There she goes. I'm like, oh, there she finally dropped out of the Discord call. Well, that's fine. Mr. G's wife was, oh, I didn't even know Mr. G was married. How about that for lousy? Like, I knew at one point in time he had a girlfriend, not that he was married. So there is that. Are we getting Gladius for an interview? Well, the interviews are not like Kremlin Sue. Well, all interviews are by volunteer. There are tons of amazing streamers that we would love to hear from. I love that. Good answer, Gladius. Good answer. Some Tuesday. I do know I need to. So I will be. I want to try and get a calendar up so that people can follow along and plan accordingly as far as these Talk Tuesday sessions, because these are so much fun. Wars, I will be honest, I wouldn't worry too much about trying to get back on. I think we'll just go ahead and wrap up. We're pretty much at the end of my stream time anyways. So I think this is a good stoppage point anyhow. Yeah, about 2.5 hours in. That's about all the more so I appreciate you coming and hanging out and answering our questions and humoring us, and I do appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to come in and answer our questions. This has been absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. Now, because we can't, and it's my stream, and she can't stop me. We've been chatting with Wars HQ. This fabulous, fantastic streamer from down under, from Australia, has come in here, has spent a little bit of time with us, has answered our questions, and it's been absolutely fantastic and lovely. If you don't know who she is, and I would be scratching my head about who in the world in this chat doesn't know who this fantastic streamer is, then you should get right on over there and hit that follow button and go check out some of this amazing content that she does and delivers. That being said, we do appreciate your right. We do appreciate you coming out and spending this Talk Tuesday with us. This has been enjoyable. It's been fun. It's been a good time. And I think I just heard Wars peep in my ear.
Yeah. I went, sorry.
All right, she's back. Don't run off just yet. Okay.
No, you can run away. It was just, I came back at this time.
You came back at this time, yeah. And there she is. There. I would say you could wave, but I don't think you have hand tracking on your little.
I don't have. I can shake my head on you.
Oh, it was final question. Your image there, your character. Where did you get that from?
It's one of the characters in Animes, which is a Steam app. That's all good. And it's literally just one of the default ones, so it's very unoriginal. But I was like, hey, same color eyes, same hair. I promise I don't have blobs normally. But I kind of liked the look of it, other than the blobs. The blobs just are there now. And I just like the idea of people being able to see something. Spherism,
right,
who's the part of the reason that I started streaming, she's a VTuber. And obviously Momus was another person that highly influenced me, and he's got his face, and I wasn't entirely comfortable with that idea at that moment in time. So then I did this. And it was a low-cost option for me when I was just making a joke of streaming in the first place. I do need
I was going to say, are there any plans to update?
I really should. Like, I've been squirreling away all of the profits that I get, other than a couple of the games that I've bought for stream, for the idea of either emotes or a VTuber model, but it's expensive.
I would imagine.
Like, the actual drawing of the VTuber isn't too bad, but like the rigging of it is the expensive bit. I'm probably getting to a point that I can afford it, but I probably need to update my CPU before I can do that, because I don't know if you've noticed, but anytime I play any game that needs anything more than a little bit of CPU, like, my anime's character has got to go. So
Gladius is sneaking in a question right there at the very end.
Current favorite game, as in a game that I'm playing currently, or my favorite game ever?
I think this is just going to go.
Two different questions. Ever? If I had to pick one, I would probably say Final Fantasy X. And Bessie's got one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I think what wants me to do ever and current. My favorite current game is probably Baldur's Gate 3. I'm having a blast in that. And yes, I did have a good time, other than my power deciding to cut me off. But Nori, you were
Well, I think my Talk Tuesdays are scheduled for like 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. So we're running right up there towards the end. You were having a power outage. I just didn't know how long you were going to go. Well, I mean, we can go for another 30 minutes. I'm just fine with that. People asking questions and they got
my power dies. It seems to have more regularity, like, around this time. So it's very possible that I would just disappear again. Like, the 10 o'clock power cut was new to me, and a surprise.
That was kind of strange.
Yeah. Well,
I do love that your repair technician's like, yeah, I'll get to it. Don't worry. You know, next week.
In a week. Totally fine in the meantime. It's fine to just have your power cut off. Like, there's obviously something causing the power to trip, which is causing the safety switch to trip, and yet it's not something of concern until Friday. Oh,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely
Jubbly. Wait.
That is such a Momus comment.
I have an emote for that. Lovely jubbly.
That is such a Momus thing.
Isn't it just? I'm a fan. And I don't know if that's been made obvious yet.
well, I was going to say, I think a lot of us are fans of Momus.
It's true. If you're not,
but at the same token,
why not?
Well, I was going to say, but I think we're all fans of a lot of different people too. I mean, there are a lot of really fantastic people in the community, and not just this community. There's a lot of fantastic people in Wars' community. There's a lot of fantastic people in Shale's community. There's just a lot of fantastic people.
Here.
And you know. Oh, I tell you what, I know there was many a non-dry eyes when Momus actually got a real job to go to work. I happen to know that for a fact. But now, if you had, I know that you mod.
Apparently,
Did you
Twitch
mod-
only thinks I modded for 2 people. That was
Of
my yearly year wrap. That it was like,
Yeah,
you
that
mod for
wasn't-
2 people. I was like, excuse me?
How many people do you mod for now?
Some people have like given me mod just because in the communities that they hover around, I had mod. So like Momus's and Comps. So like there were a couple of people that were just like, I'm gonna give you the badge because you look weird without the badge. I'm like, okay. But for the people that I actually mod for,
Sorry, that seems weird. I'm gonna make you a mod just because you need the sword by your name, or it's just not right. Okay.
I mean, that happened in about 3 communities, Story. It's not just one.
Wow.
Yup.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Okay.
I mean, Com modded me because Momus modded me.
That
was like, well,
doesn't
you can't-
surprise me.
You can't be. I'm not going to be outdone by Momus. Here's your badge here too. Like, okay. I literally timed you out tonight. But thank you. Or maybe it was his way of going, thank you for timing me out. I needed to go. Do you know the story of how I became a mod for Momus?
No.
Okay. Do people want to have
Go ahead.
story time with Wars? Okay.
Oh, this is War's interview, so this is whatever Wars wants to say. We're all just here captivated, listening and learning all of the deep lores and secrets. So, yeah, absolutely. If you got a story time with Wars, go for it.
Story time.
We're here for that.
So essentially, this was very early days with Momus. Like within the first month of me meeting him. Com was delaying his need to leave work to get home, and I was like, it sounds like somebody needs to be timed out because he can't control himself and leave. And then Momus was like, do you want to be modded to time him out? Because like for whatever reason he didn't want to just time him out as a joke himself. I was like, I'll do it. And so then Momus was like, all right, and modded me, and I timed him out for 10 minutes. And in that time, because Momus has admitted, and I knew this was a thing, that he planned to unmod me by the end of the stream. But guess what happened between the end of the stream? A bot showed up, and I banned it almost immediately. I'd never really modded for anyone before, but I was like, I see a ban button. I'm gonna ban it. And then Momus was like, okay, Wars knows how to mod. Let's just keep her with the sword. And then that was the thing.
I see. So Wars was given a sword. She proved ample dexterity with said blade and was allowed to keep it because she did not cut herself with it. Does that sound about right?
and I cut a bot with it instead.
Nice. Well, I mean
Would it
that
make
makes
sense
it
for to
easy
be the
though.
other way? That you go up. So. Oh, I see the problem.
I mean, it makes sense to go a lot of different directions, but
yeah, that's essentially it. I deleted a bot and then got permanently promoted for it. Yes, bestie.
now of the various activities that you get involved with as a moderator, obviously banning bots is everybody's favorite thing to do, but what are some of the other things that you
Hey, your art shit.
Say that again? Oh, nope. She died. Well, at least we got the story from her before she disappeared. That's fantastic. It is time. That's fine. That's fine. Thank you, Wars, for a lovely interview. Thank you for the lovely stories. Thank you for the time that you have spent with us. It has been absolutely amazing and enjoyable. Well, we'll do this once again because what's she going to do? Time me out in my own stream? Ha! Doesn't work here. I am immune. No. It's been fantastic. It's been lovely. It's been a wonderful evening here spent with our special guest, Wars HQ. Fabulous Australian streamer, dear friend of ours, and overall just an amazing person. If you don't know who she is by now, well, go check her out in her streams. Ask her some more questions. I'm certain she'll be happy to answer all of them for you. Thank you for this evening, Wars. It's been a lovely evening. It's been a nice way to spend the Tuesdays. I'm enjoying these things. I hope you guys are enjoying them just as much as I am. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and nope, wrong one. Zoop, there we go. Her information is there on the screen still. We are going to go to the end screen. I think we will go find ourselves some fantastic person to go raid to. It has been suggested time or two that we should, go raid whoever it was that we were interviewing, but I don't know that it was an abrupt end. Yeah, it was. Her power went out. It killed. It freeze framed. But we are going to go and we'll go find somebody. Wars, you're still in chatter. Is there anybody you want to go and raid? Since we always ask our guests if there's somebody particular that they want to go send the raid out to. Yeah, boo power. We're not happy with the power. Unfortunately, it's a thing. It happened. Sniff. All right. We'll go say hi to Sniff. So here's the end screen, but don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Oh no, we're not done just yet. This has been Talk Tuesday. This has been a fantastic thing. It's a lovely time. We've been having fun. We got to learn amazing things about Wars HQ. Stop. What are we stopping for? Whoop. The end music is playing. It's hammer time. Obviously, yes, indeed. We will be back. I want to say we will be back next week, but we won't be back next week because next week, Talk Tuesday, is the day after Christmas. I don't know that we will necessarily be doing anything. I don't have anybody lined up. In fact, our next guest that we have lined up is going to be on the 2nd of January, day after New Year's. So starting our 2024 off here on Talk Tuesday is going to be the one, the only, the fantastic, magical Zodicus. That's right. You heard it first. We are going to delve the deep secrets of magical lore from the wizard himself. The almighty Zodicus will be here for our next Talk Tuesday, which won't be until next year. So from me to you, thank you all for hanging out. I hope you've enjoyed these Talk Tuesdays just as much as I have. We will continue to do them. I have, if you didn't hear earlier, we have a scheduled for this all the way up and until March and maybe longer. We'll see. But yes, so our next Talk Tuesday, January 2nd, with the fabulous, the mystical, the magical, the amazing Zodicus. Dear friend of mine, dear friend of the channel, dear friend of all of you. So you don't want to miss out on that at all, I promise. And until next time, let's see. Our next thing we got going on here on this channel anyways will be Friday, when we attempt to pick up our collab and go and put down Melania. And then, you know, again, Saturday we have all of our normal chaos on Saturdays. And then Sunday, I don't think there's BG3 this weekend. Holiday season and all that. So look forward to some more Shale and Valheiming. I think tomorrow she's got that going on. We got to see some of Gladius yesterday, was doing some Valheiming from the build server. That's always good fun stuff. Whoop, I think, will be on a little later on this evening, so you don't want to miss any of that absolute fun time. And of course, we are going to go send a raid out to and hang out with Sniff, dear friend of the channel, dear friend of Wars, great, fantastic guys. The absolute thing that you go to hit. 15 minutes. Okay, so Whoop is going live in 15 minutes. There you go. You heard it straight from Whoop. But per our request from our special guest this evening, Wars, we are going to send this raid on over to Sniff. So let's get that party started before something happens. And I need to go look up how to spell his name because I am horrible at this. You would think I would know how to spell this. So here is the brand new raid messages. The first one is for all you lovely subscribers. The second one is for all you lovely followers. Grab whichever one you can, copy it, get ready to spam to your heart's content. Let's let Sniff know where we came from. And when he asks, what were we getting up to? Tell him we were learning the deep, deep lore of the Wars HQ. And as always, thank you for coming by and hanging out with us on Tuesday evenings. It's been an absolute blast. I look forward to the next of these. So until next time, continue to be the fantastic, amazing, and the fabulous, fantastic, and amazing people I already know you are. And until next time, bye for now.